Okay, so I guess Funk Flex and Nicki Minaj squashed their beef, which is good for Nicki and Flex, obviously. But Nicki, because she has an album out, and it's not really worth like going at DJs and having problems with DJs when you got an album out. You know, you need everybody working together. It's a business, okay? It's not like it's not like friendship. This is the music business, okay? Now, obviously, she went at DJ Self last night because DJ Self disrespected her. You know, they had just seen each other at Power 105. I guess she refused to do a drop for some reason. She probably had her reasons. And Self went off on her, and then she called him out. She defended herself, okay? And then someone made up that Karen Civil said it was because of Dream Doll, and Karen Civil dispelled that rumor right away. Okay, so she went on Funk Flex and she called somebody that was a member. I forget the name of the group. Her, Seven Up, Safaree. I think a guy named Louie or something. She called the guy Louie and said, Funk Flex asked her what Safaree's role was in the group, and she called up Louis, and he confirmed that Safaree was a hype man. And that's how I was introduced to Safaree when I first met Nicki in 2005 when we started doing the come up stuff. Safaree came around the first video, and she said, "This is my hype man. Let him get a shot." He was always the hype man until I saw him around a lot more, and then I was like, "Oh, maybe they're dating now." And they were dating. This is before the Wayne stuff happened. So like I guess they started dating. But you know, if Safaree didn't like being called the hype man, then he should have opted out. Because if he aspired to be more than a hype man, he shouldn't have been the hype man. He should have just opted out and moved on. But he's continued to be the hype man, and it worked out for him. Nicki squashed her beef with Flex. Flex said, "I thought you were getting lazy with the music, and that's why I called you out." No, and then Nicki said, "Well, a lot of people get paid for saying things like that because it attracts attention to their blogs." That's why Flex was doing it. Let's just be totally honest, okay? Flex was doing it to troll, and it worked. Just like he trolls Cardi B and all this other stuff. It's like he just trolls people to get attention for his blog. People that are worth trolling. Uh, then let's move on to Safaree was exposed as just being a hype man. Anyways, then Eric Sermon goes on the radio. Now I love Eric Sermon. I love PMD, EPMD. Okay, Eric Sermon was telling people that you get $8,000 per million streams, which is false. You get between $4,000 and $6,000. And yeah, if Drake is doing billions of streams, but the label takes a huge percentage of that. Because that's how they make their money now. Now, he was just making the point that, hey, I love streaming. I love the way that Eric Sermon is evolving with time, as he should, and embracing streaming and everything else. So I'm saying this to commend him, but also correct the information a little bit, because a lot of people might be under the impression that you get $8,000. You'd have to have a high draw. Like Drake might get that, possibly. $8,000 per million streams, but I don't know. Then we got, the French Montana looks crazy with his new hair, right? Then G-Eazy called out Kanye West the other day. He said, he basically said, what was he talking about? Kanye West was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was talking about Trump and his support for Trump and everything, and he was just dead silent when asked about it. And G-Eazy called him out and just said, like, "Oh, we're still waiting for your response. What's good? Like, we're still waiting for that answer, homie." Because Kanye West put up a post saying the question was so important, I took time to think. And then I was hit with, "Let's go to commercial break." That interview showed strong personalities and different opinions having a civil conversation. I don't know. I don't get into politics. It is what it is. We have no real control over anything. Anyways, it's always something, man, with politics. Nobody's, I don't know. It's just so messy. I don't care who's in office. It's always a messy situation. But we definitely have a lot of issues to deal with. YG, I didn't put this in there, but YG got kicked off an American Airlines flight. And sorry for the pictures aren't up there. People were reacting. He was saying that they were racist because they kicked him off, right? But he seemed a little drunk, and a lot of people were accusing him of being drunk because they were like, "Yo, bro, not this one. Don't do it, YG." I mean, all the comments were saying, "You were drunk, bro." Because then the next post, he's posting from a bar. He said, "I'm finna get drunk now." I'm like, YG, come on, YG. YG's the best though. Like he's funny. YG is funny. Um, but anyways, it is. These flights are unfair. I've seen drunk people get on the plane fine. They probably just didn't like the way YG was talking to them, or maybe they didn't like the fact he was in first class. I mean, I'll give them that. But I just saw a drunk person get on the flight with me the other day. I was like, damn, this person isn't even getting kicked off, and they can't even stay in their seat. Please, and it was, I think she was a white woman. It was a white woman. She didn't get kicked off, but they are faster to kick off minorities. I have noticed that. I'm not saying that's not a thing. But YG was clearly a little bit drunk, but he shouldn't have been kicked off the flight. Anyways, guys, hit that like button. I'll check you on the next one.